Hey crafty friends, it's Rick. I'm back with another video today. Today we are going to take a sneak peek at some new products coming out from CC Designs. We're going to play with the Pals stamp set that also coordinates with the Charles stamp set. We're going to be using a sentiment from this. We're going to make a postage card, so I've already cut that out. We're making a top folding A6 card. So here is my matte layer. It's 6 by 4 and a quarter, 6 by 4 and a quarter. Yeah, 6 by 4 and a quarter, because that matches my postage stamp with a postage stamp die cut with a 1/4 inch margin all the way around. As far as our card base for a top folding, you're going to need one piece that is 4 1/2 by 6 1/2, or yeah, 6. A little bit smaller than 6 1/4, just slightly. And then you're going to need a piece that's 4 1/2 by 7 7 1/4, and you're going to score it at 1 inch. So we're going to do our card. We'll do a card base first. Add liquid glue all the way on our little tab here. And then what we're going to do is take our other layer. We're going to butt it right up against our score line. You don't want to go past it. You want to just go right up to it, just like that. Then you'll fold that over, making sure everything's nice and lined up. Go ahead and just give it a little press. That way, that makes our top folding card base once it's dry. So we'll set this to the side, and we are going to start doing our stamping. So I've got a sticky grid in my Misty. To make it easier, I'm gonna go ahead and put my postage stamp in here, die cuts. And I do have the A6 Postage Collage blocks. This helps to make everything nice and keep it white. We're going to start off with doing some stamping. So we will have to do a little bit of masking as well. And Schroeder right there. And for the masking, I'm just going to use a Post-it note. We're going to do some Copic coloring. So I'm going to stamp with Memento Tuxedo Black. Move that. All right, we're going to add Lucy in here. And since we know she's in love with Schroeder, we will make sure that she's looking at him. Go ahead and stamp her. All right, I've moved up my mask. I'm going to put Sally up here. All right, I've already placed Peppermint Patty down here. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp her. All right, we do have a little bit of room down here for another image, and I'm going to slide in Snoopy at the bottom from the Charles stamp set. I'm going to place him like he's kind of poking his head in looking. And of course. So we will fix that, and I'll show you how I'm going to fix it. We're going to take a little scratch piece of paper. Stamp him right there. And then what I'll do is I'll take that die and cut out where I want him to be. Because we ain't stamping all that over. I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to stamp that in Tuxedo Black as well. So I'm planning on adding color to each of these squares. All right, we'll go ahead and remove everything. All right, I went ahead and cut him out and got everything ready. We're going to go ahead and start our coloring process. So I will start, we're going to start with our skin tone. And for Sally, we're going to use E11, and we're coloring with Copics, by the way. We're going to use E11, E2, E00, and E000. So we're going to start off with our darkest color, which is the E11. And I'm going to come around under her hair. Around her hairline. Her ear. A little bit of her hand. We'll go to our EO2. I could have used the EO2 as the darkest color. Come back. Just blend that out just a little. And we'll come in with our E00. Blend that out. While we have this out, we'll go ahead and do the rest of their skin as well. All right, there's our skin tone. And we'll go ahead and give them some cheeks. I'm going to use R11 and R20 for that. So we're going to give them cheeks with R20 first. And then I'll blend that out with R11. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to color Sally's little tongue and Patty's little tongue. So I'm just going to pick out, I'm going to use R22 for that. No need to do a lot of shading. All right, we're going to go ahead and do Patty's hair. I'm going to use E37, E39, and E35 for that. I'm going to start with E39. Anywhere. I'm going to come up under where something overlaps, as well as I like to flick in from the other end as well. I always start in the part and then work my way out. I've said this in another video recently. That way I have a natural sun-kissed highlight in the middle of the combination. This gives it that natural little highlight. All right, for Schroeder and Sally, we're going to go for them blonde. So we're going to use Y17, Y15, and Y11. Y13, I'm sorry. So I'm going to start with Y17. I'm going to flick up and down. I'm going to go around her little poof. Now that I'm looking at this, it makes me wonder, because I'm a child of the 80s, and we all know that during the 80s they wore those big teased bangs with the Rave and Aquanet hairspray. And now looking at Sally, I'm wondering if that's might be where that came from. I wonder if anybody else has ever made that connection. I mean, I know it came from rock bands, but it makes me wonder now if that's because, you know, these were big during that time. It makes me wonder. And in case you're wondering, my favorite Peanut cartoon is the Great Pumpkin. I love some Halloween. I did E15. I'm going to come in with, Y13, Y15, Y13, and Y11 for his hair. And then for his little piano, we're going to use some R's. We're going to use R17, R24, and R14. So I'm going to start with my R24. That in the shadows. I'll move over to R17 and R14. And for his shirt, we're going to do a lighter blue combination. I'm going to do BO4, BO2, and BO1. I'm going to start with my BO4 and put in that shadow. Then we'll switch to BO2. And BO1. And I'm going to give him, and no, I didn't forget her hair. I know it's there. Go ahead and give him a little pant. Lucy's top, we're going to do B69, B66, and B63. And it's always questionable if her outfit's blue or sometimes it's purple. So we're going to go in between and give her a blue-violet. More of a blue-violet shirt. Now, I can tell you that in the play production, in the musical production of this, her dress is sometimes blue, lighter blue, and sometimes it is purple. And if you have not ever seen the Snoopy musical or the Peanuts musical, Charlie Brown musical, highly recommend it. It's super fun musical. They have all kinds, they do different scenes from the play. I mean, from the cartoons. All right, we're going to do Cool Grace for her hair. So I'm going to start off with C9. Every time I see Lucy, I just think of her in the psychiatrist booth or holding the football for Chuck. Those are the things I think about. All right, we're going to come in with C7. And I'm trying to stay within my little postage here. That way we don't want to go outside our lines. We'll blend that out with C5. All right, I'm going to set those to the side for just a second. Since I already have my C's out, we're going to go ahead and do Snoopy. So I'm going to do his little ear. And I actually don't have to color the whole thing because we're going to end up cutting it apart. I am going to give him just a little red collar so we can kind of see a little bit of that here. C3 and C1 and C0 for just a little shadow on him. So he would have some shadow. We'll go ahead and do that. And I'll blend that out. So we can set him to the side. Now we got to come back and do Sally's top. And we're going to use a pink combination for that. I'm going to use R32, R22, and R20 for that. So I'm going to start off with the R32. And I'll switch over to the R22. The R20. All right, now we're going to add some color to our background. We're going to go R22 for Sally. And I'm going to come just around our postage area. I'm going to come in with RV42. If you get outside the line, we can clean that up in a little bit with our a gel pen. I'm going to try to stay within my little lines here. All right, for Patty, we're going to go green. I'm going to do G9, G7, and G5. So I'm going to come in with my G7. All right, we'll come in with our G5. Blend that together. All right, for Lucy, we're going to go yellow in the background. So I'm going to do Y17, Y15, and Y11. That way it will coordinate it nicely. That way with her blue-violet outfit, it will make her pop out from the page a little bit. Right, I'm going to pull in a violet combination. So we can go around Schroeder here. I'm sorry, V17, V15, and V12. So we're going to come in with our V15. Going for a very pop art feel, if I didn't mention it already. So now we're going to use our V12. In case you're wondering, these stamps will come out on Friday if you're watching this when it goes live. So I will have that detailed below also. So you'll be able to pick up this stamp set and the Charles stamp set and one more that you've not seen yet. All right, for our sentiment, we're going to use our blue combination for that. All right, now let's go ahead and do his background. I'm going to use my blue combination for that. I'm going to come over his nose just a little since it did not. Our ink is a little pad, probably a little dry. I want to darken that up. All right, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim him out just along our postage marks, because I will just place him, sandwich him right in there. We'll just go ahead and attach that. I'm just going to line it up right onto our card front. That way no one's even the wiser. All right, we're going to come in. We're going to add some little details. I'm going to come in and darken up their eyes with a black Jelly Roll pen. This just gives a little bit more life to their eyes. I'm just tracing right over it. And if I do happen to get into their white of their eyes, I can come in with my Jelly Roll pen and clean that up. We're also going to do his little nose. Once the ink is completely dry. All right, we're going to go ahead and add our highlights before we go ahead and put in our card together. All right, so we'll go ahead and add this to our card front. Now you could easily cut the postage stamp apart and add different, add them in a different way, but we're gonna leave this together because I want this to be like a sheet of postage. Go ahead and add my onto my matte layer. Make sure that's nice and straight. Let's grab our card base. I'm going to pop this up using some thin foam adhesive. A little extra little piece right there. And then that I'll just stick onto the roll. All right, I'll go ahead and peel these backings off. All right, I'm going to add liquid glue behind or onto our foam tape so we have a little wiggle room. Add that to our top folding A6 card base. And come in and we're going to add a little Stardust stickles here and there. Give them just a little bit of sparkle as well, because this is a very plain card. Just add in little lines behind Sally. Add some little polka dots. All right, here's a closer look at my card. I'll pull it up to the camera. And if you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming up next. Make sure you head over to Instagram and check out all the other inspiration from the DT. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Love you. Stay crafty.